Alright guys, let's take a quick look at a Groll Landfall aggro deck I've been playing this past week or so while I've not been uploading because I've had a terrible case of the flu, if you can't tell by the sound of my voice. You know, I mean, obviously it was the holidays and it was really busy, but then I got sick I kind of felt it coming on Christmas Day, but then on Boxing Day it was one of the worst head colds that I've ever had in my life. I'm still dealing with the after effects of it. So I haven't been putting up any videos simply because I haven't been able to talk very well. So anyways, like I said, Groll Landfall aggro. This is something I've been playing with for a while. So we're starting off with 3 copies of Scythe Leopard, 1 mana 1/1, Landfall +1/+1 until end of turn. 1 Hakeem Stonewaker, which is 2 mana 2/1 with Landfall. So whenever you play a land, you can pay 3 mana and get a 3/1 hasted trampling token. That only lasts until the end of the turn. So you know, I don't want to play multiple copies of this guy. I tried playing all 3 of them, but 2 of them is absolutely dreadful because 3 mana is a lot, and if you have 2 on the battlefield, you need to pay 6. And a lot of the time, you're not paying 3 anyway. So it's just a mana sink for later on in the game. So 1 is fine. Playing 4 Slide Runners, so it's a 2 mana 2/1 with Trample and gets +1/+1 for every landfall trigger. Playing Undercity Troll just because after all the landfall creatures, he's just the best 2-drop. And we're playing a lot of land in this deck, 26, so a lot of times you can afford that regenerate cost. And, you know, so you can kind of swing at them and with a bunch of different creatures, and if they block this guy, you still get to keep them. And sometimes you'll pick off blockers that way. So, plus he's Renown 1, so when he hits, he gets to go up to a 3/3, which makes him good. Snapping Gnarlid, 2 mana 2/2, landfall, +1/+1, so you can see the kind of theme here, put down creatures. Play lands that buff those creatures. And go to town. I'm going to play 1 copy of Slab Hammer. It's a 4-drop because it's 2 to cast, 2 to equip. But whenever the creature attacks, it gets +2/+2, which is great with the Tramplers. And even any old Landfall guy gets them a +2/+2. But it also lets you return a land you control back to your hand and trigger Landfall again. The worst part about it, though, is that you have to attack in order to get that trigger and bounce the land, so you can't actually play your land, you know, pre-combat and trigger all those effects. Now, you can play a land out of your hand first, get all the triggers, then swing, bounce it back, so all you'll ever need is 1 land and a Slab Hammer to keep doing that every single turn. So that's pretty good. But I don't think the deck needs more than 1. Could change though. Swell of Growth, it's a 2 mana +2/+2, so it's a really bad giant growth. But you get to put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield at instant speed, which with all the landfall guys could trigger your entire army, plus I'm playing 4 copies of Looming Spires in here. So slamming in a first strike land, you know, it's pretty freaking sweet as a combat trick. So we're going to play all 4 of those. Nissa is here basically as a borderland rager, believe it or not. You know, I mean, the deck is run 26 land. It is possible to flip her, but basically she takes forest out of your deck on the 3rd turn, and if you don't have your 4th land drop, guess what? You play her on 3, or I'm sorry, on 4, whatever, and you know, you don't have your 4th land drop. You play her on 4, pick up the forest, play it, trigger your army, and that's, you know, your opponent will throw removal at it, but really, the only purpose of her in this deck is to get that land out. If you ever, you know, flip her, it's just gravy. Retreat to Valakut, I started with 1, I went up to 2, and now I'm going to try all 3. This card has been great, absolutely fantastic. It's a 4-drop, obviously, because you want to play it for 3 mana and then play your land for turn. But the most important clause is that last one down there. Target creature can't block this turn. It's really huge every time. You know, if you get an Evolving Wilds with this thing, you know, you neutralize 2 blockers and just force through a fuck ton of damage. If your opponent doesn't have any blockers, you know, I mean, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, so it's just great. Wild Size, +2/+2 trample, and some much needed cycling, because this deck is, it is kind of threat light. You know, there are a lot of buffs and stuff, and, you know, we're playing buffs, we're playing retreats, we're playing hammers. You know, so we need to find our threats, and there are 26 lands in here, so you kind of need to get through that a little bit and find your stuff. So we're going to play all 4 of those, mostly for the cycling. But Trample is obviously way up there too. A lot of our creatures have Trample. Grove Rumbler at the top, which you haven't seen, has it. Slide Runner has it. Stonewaker makes creatures with Trample. So it's mostly for the Leopard Strolls, Gnarlids, and I guess the occasional Nissa. If you get to trample her, that's pretty sweet. 2 copies of Firecraft, simply because we're playing a lot of spells to turn on the Mastery. So this can make this uncounterable. But 3 mana for 4 damage that can go faces is not a bad rate. You know, especially when we're going to be doing a lot of burst damage. This is essentially, it's not removal in this deck. It's meant to be a finisher, but if you got to remove something, you got to remove something. So we can go either way, and you know, I'd rather have Banefire in a 26 land deck, obviously, but you know, a lot of the time this will be uncounterable simply because of the pumps and the other stuff that's in our graveyard. Hakeem Firebird is obviously really good in here. You know, 4 mana, 3/3 flying haste, and attacks each turn available. But the landfall trigger is really expensive to bring it back. But like, you know, we're playing 26 lands, we can get to that. So we can keep bringing that thing back unless it gets exiled, obviously. And topping it off is Grove Rumbler, 4 mana, 3/3 trample. Landfall gives it +2/+2. So I mean, we're not playing defense with this deck. We don't care about the 3/3 stats. And Reeve Soul is basically all but gone from the format. And he attacks as a 5/5 trampler pretty much every turn. 7/7 if you have multiple ways to get lands in play, via either Swell of Growth or Evolving Wilds, or if if you play your land for turn, then Swell of Wilds and crack it, it'll be a 9/9 trample. 11/11 if you target this with the Swell. So it's pretty good. Like I said, we're playing 26 lands. We're playing all the dual lands. I'm playing low on the mountain count, only 2 as opposed to forest 9. I have 9 forests. Kind of want to play 10, for the side leopards, but there's only 3 1-drops. I don't want to go down to 1 mountain. And the rest of the lands we're definitely playing. Playing 3 copies of Blighted Gorge. It's 6 mana. You have to pay 5 plus tap this land, so it's 6 total mana. To shock your opponent's face. But we're playing 26 lands. 6 mana is not a problem. If we don't manage to close out the game earlier than that, then we can crack a Gorge and shock him in the face. This has won me a surprising amount of games. Just when your opponent starts to stabilize, you Gorge him in the face. Looming Spires. Obviously, this is a great trick to flash in with Swell of Growth. Because it comes in tapped, but you don't care about that because the land you get from Swell is essentially free. It's an extra land for your turn. So, but you get to give a creature +1/+1 and first strike. Plus, you can combine that with the Looming Spires for +3 and +3 and first strike. It's also really good with Slab Hammer. You can pick up your Looming Spires every turn, and then use it the next turn pre-combat to get the first strike bonus, and then swing with your Slab Hammer and get it back, and just Spires every single turn. And of course, we're playing Evolving Wilds. We're playing 26 lands. This is not about the fixing, this is about marginally thinning, but mostly it's about double landfall triggers. You want to play this land, and then you want to crack it and get 2 landfall triggers in the same turn. Or if you're really sneaky, you want to play it, get a single landfall trigger, and then you can crack it on your opponent's turn against a twin bolt or something, or force them not to be able to twin bolt your leopard and your slide runner, because you can crack your Evolving Wilds in response to it or something. That basically never comes up because you're always the beatdown, but hey, it could. So yeah, that's what I've been digging around with. It's not going to be terrible or anything. It does have a lot of burst though. It gets some surprisingly fast finishes, and there's a lot of times where the opponent will just pause the timer and they can't really believe how much damage is coming at them seemingly out of nowhere. But I mean, it is really soft to sweepers. It is really soft to twin bolts because a lot of the creatures have 1 toughness. So it's not going to be a great deck, but it's been a little bit of fun since I've been playing with it. And we'll see how it performs tonight. I'm going to mute the mic there now and hack up a lung, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Oh, alright, that's 1 lung down, 1 to go. Oh my. Yeah, it's been a brutal flu, I gotta say. Let's do the old Konami code here now and try to get connected to a game. It's been a lot better recently. Getting a lot more success on my connection rate the past 4 to 5 days than I have been since the game first dropped. It was pretty rough at the beginning. I don't know if they've done something on the back end. There hasn't been a patch or an update of any kind, or if it's just more people are actually picking the game back up now that the expansion is out. Can't really tell you either way, but I have found finding a game a lot easier than before. We did see that one episode there, or just right now, that one instance where it wouldn't connect, but I find usually there could be times where you'd have to restart your entire app and go reboot your router, and now it's not like that. I just generally, if I don't get the first game, I'll go into 2-headed giant, back out. Maybe it's just a twitch of mine or something, who knows, but it seems to work. Alright, so let's see who we've got on the other side of the field for this funny real aggro deck. It is Danny Retardable. Okay, he's going to be in our tournament. Played against him a few times, so let's see what we've got here. We don't have any red mana, and we don't have any early creatures, so that's a mulligan. Here we have 2. We don't have any red mana again. Only 2 mana total on the draw with a pair of Gnarlets. Still don't like it. Rootbound Crag, no threats, no mana, 1 mana, 3 mana. Alright, yeah, okay. That was great. That was great. That's a great first showing. See if we can draw a threat, but I think we're going to just back up. I was thinking to myself, why do I have 56 cards in my library? Am I an idiot? Can I not count to 60? But yeah, I'm holding to 3. If I don't draw a 2-drop or a 1-drop here, I'm just going to concede. Because there's really no point. And yeah, that's an evolving wild, so we'll flick that for a red, and then we'll get the fuck out of here and try to find another game. Sorry, Danny, just couldn't draw a hand. You know, that one with the 2 green, but I'm playing 26 land, man. You know, but I couldn't find red and green in the same fucking hand. I mean, I'm playing 14 sources of red and even more than that of green. I'm counting evolving wilds as a full source now. But anyways, let's go into versus battle and try that again. So unfortunate, came up against a buddy of mine and couldn't get a decent hand to have a good game with him. What are you gonna do? I don't mind losing the rank. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I think I'm down on 37 now. Wow, 37. I've been dicking around with red aggro lately, and it's not that strong. I mean, it can win some games, but it gets there by the... I've been playing a lot of aggro lately, actually. I've been playing a Devoid deck, mostly based on Mega Beast's deck that he posted recently. I've been dicking around with that Groll aggro deck, and I've been playing a lot of mono red lately, just because I feel like the format has been it's so heavy on the top ramp, and people playing control decks. I've been trying to go underneath it, and you know, it's hard to find a deck that's fast enough. This one's pretty explosive. If I can find a playable hand, which, you know, I usually do. That's not how it usually goes on the first try. Yeah, I'll send you a message after, Danny. It's unfortunate, but that's all we can do. Alright, so now we got a rank number 1. See, we had a good matchup against my friend, and I couldn't find a hand worth keeping, and now we got the 100 card fat stack. Do we have a playable hand? We have Undercity Troll, Swell, Wild Size to draw a card, and Swell to throw a land into play. So we can Cinderglade into Rootbound Crag. We're on the draw, I guess, yeah. Good thing about these new lands, they have the subtype Mountain Forest. They turn on you check lands. And we picked up another 2-drop, so there we go. He's playing red. So I'm going to lead with the Gnarlid and save Troll for later on against his removal, when I can potentially regenerate it. So he's playing Alchemist Vial. Could be the artifact pile. What am I talking about? It's a 100 card deck. It's just a pile. So Rootbound Crag into Snapping Gnarlid. And then we can Spires into Troll. You know, I'm sure he's going to have a Twin Bolt or a Fire Impulse for it. 100 card fat stacks always do. So I want to play my Troll next turn. That's pretty much given. He's got a Perilous Mirror. He's got a Perilous Mirror, but he, you know, not even Perilous Mirror can block a 4/4 first striker and kill it. So, well, we picked up a Stonewaker, which is going to be good in a few turns. But yeah, we're going to play the Spires here. Get the Landfall trigger and the +1/+1 first strike. So I wonder if he's going to crack his Vial right now, since his Mirror can't block. I mean, it can, but it just gets to throw 2 at my face. It doesn't actually get to kill the Gnarlid. No, he's just taking 4. And then we'll drop the Troll. And we got a couple of dudes on board. Yeah, I really like the Looming Spires, I gotta say. The more I play with it. So he's just main phasing and telling time here. Must be digging for a land. Got a Wild Size open. He found a land, if that's what he was going for. Now, Nissa. Nissa. So we get the Landfall here. That doesn't buff the Troll though. I mean, we could Swell, put the land into play, and then play a Stonewaker second main. I think that's what I'm going to do in response to some blocks. Does he have a Twin Bolt or something? Alchemist File. It's too late for that. I already declared, so that doesn't do anything. And now I know there's no Twin Ball coming my way. Alright, so that's good. That's good. So I'm going to swell here. Give that +2/+2. Whoops, I swelled wrong. Yeah, you can now kill my dude. I swelled wrong. I don't know why I was thinking that was the other way around. Yeah, that was wrong. I'm supposed to swell the other way. Well, I don't think it really matters. I don't think it really matters. I don't buff my troll at all. Alright, we've got Stonewaker in play now. The question is, if we top deck a land, do we just play it and make a 3/1 trample? He's on 12. He's played a Whirler Rogue. So that's 3 bodies right there. So wild size is looking good. Yeah, and we picked up a Gnarlid. Let's just bring the troll, see what he wants to do. I might just Nissa. He's just going to take the 3. I'm not going to wild size here. I'm just going to go get a forest. Yeah, we can't afford that trigger. Let's put the Gnarlid down. I'm not expecting Chandra's Ignition for 2 here. Definitely not expecting that. So let's go wide. Alright, Scrapyard Mongrel, 5/3 Trampler as it stands. See what he wants to do with his creatures. If he wants to roll back, yeah. And it's another Firecraft. But we don't have a land. We don't have a land. Sometimes with this deck you actually want to wild size pre-combat and try to find one. Or maybe I should just Firecraft that 5/3 and be done with it. Be happy about it. I mean, he's almost dead to Firecraft face, you know. I mean, I got 8 points of damage. Let's just bring the house in wild size in response to blocks. So he's going to tackle the Gnarlid, he's going to chump there, or he's going to double block. And is he going to block the troll? No, he's not going to block the troll. So I'll trade this off for 2 Thumpers. I'll trade that guy off. Excuse me. Question is, do I want to wild size and kill the 5/3? Which I think I do. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And we picked up our land. So does that kill him now? Firecraft? No, it takes him 1. But I don't think he's going to have any life gain. As soon as we untap, we can throw the Bloody Gorge at him. So let's just throw it at him while we have the mana to do it. Pia and Kieran. Nice way to rebuild the board, but I'm going to kill him with the land. Just because. Make sure not to tap it to add mana to your mana pool. I've done that before and lost games because of it. Make sure to put it at the right place too. All mistakes that I have made. Dr. Phil, yeah, not a card. Thoptopile. Alright. Hey, 20 coins, first one of the day. Sweet. Kind of quest progress. Nice to actually see the quest working and get some gold for that. I guess I didn't progress any of them. But anyways, let's try that again. How deep into video are we here? 19 minutes now? Fuck it, I haven't done a video for a while. I'll push it up to 3 games, however long that takes. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, we'll see how the second game goes. We'll see how the second game goes. Homeless Jace. I haven't played against you in a while. Just looking up around the room here, one thing that I did get for Christmas from my mother was the Magic the Gathering board game, Arena of the Planeswalkers. Still haven't opened it yet. I do have a that's a bi-weekly board game thing I do with my buddies at one of their houses, so I'm going to bust that out and bring it over at the next, we've been kind of on hiatus for the holidays for that. So I'm going to bust that out and bring that over for the next one. Alright, Piach. What do you got? It is a 60 card pile this time at the very least, and we have, again, only one threat, but we have Gnarlid, Swell, and Retreat, plus we can go get that red mana, which was the problem against Danny. We couldn't find any hands with both colors of mana. We're on the draw, which I don't particularly like. But whatever, we're looking at Selesnya Guildgate. Let's go get a mountain. So hopefully we pick up another threat before... I don't want to have to play this Valakut on 3. I will if I have to, but I really don't want to. So it's the staple 2 drop for the green decks. Elvish Visionary. I wonder what he's doing in green-white, or if there's another color in there. Alright, there's a troll. So yeah, we did pick up another threat. And Gnarlid hits the hardest right out of the box. So let's play that guy first. I'd love to pick up a Looming Spires. Just so that or even Evolving Wilds, just so I can play a tap land, play a troll, and then have Valakut on the 4th turn. So he's playing double Visionary. Still no sign of 3rd color. And he's threatening a double block, but we're going to play a land. And it's a Rootbound Crag, but we're just going to play the Forest. See if he's got a 1-mana trick. Might of the Masses, maybe? I doubt it. Well, let's find out. He's just taking a 3. And then let's troll him. So he didn't want to chump block at all. I wonder if he's going to be playing Retreat to Emeria and Token Makers and Zendikar's Royal and all that stuff. And just keep us on our toes with jump blockers. Jagged Scar. Green-white elves? Green-white elves? What? Alright, so he can deal damage to flyers. That doesn't bother us, but he gets really, really, really big. So we're going to play a Retreat. And then say, sorry, sir. You can't block this turn. And at this point, with Retreat to Valakut in play, am I willing to trade this off for 2 Visionaries? No, I'm not. I'm just going to go for 3. See if he wants to jump. And he does. So that shrinks his dude. We got a couple of swells here. You know, we can play a land and then swell to make 2 creatures unable to block this turn. And leave Nissa as his only blocker. We can do that. Threaten a bunch of damage if he wants to keep her. Don't know how wise that is. Grove Rumbler. This is a card that sometimes bothers me. It's like I gotta take a turn off to play it. You know, I do. I have to take a turn off to play this. So we're not letting this guy block, and we're getting our Landfall trigger. We've got Regenerate open on the troll. We got Swell of Growth if something nasty happens, or the Regenerate, but... So he's jumping the troll. And he's... What is going on? So there's a Titanic Growth where? Going at Nissa? So that's +6/+6. So I'm actually going to trade with the Nissa now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. Target creature can't block, whatever. So now that's a 6/6 going to trade with the Nissa, and he just jumps the other one. And we still get to play the Rumbler. And he lost a Titanic. But we don't have a land anymore. This is where you want a slab hammer. Alright, Valor and Wardens. It's 1/3. Picked up an Undercity Troll. But let's just attack, since we don't have a land to play. See how he wants to block, if he wants to block. Nope. So that's 5. Xbox, stop listening. Now let's play our next troll. Are we going to see planar outbursts from our opponent? I really highly doubt it. You know, I really highly doubt it. So he's up to 7 mana with a Core Castigator. 3/1, and Scions can't block it. He doesn't really have a good attack there. Now, Scythe Leopard. Yeah, I'm all out of land. Which is not good. I mean, I got Swell plus 1 regenerate activation. So let's just bring it. Let him do the math. So he's going to block the Rumbler. He's just going to bounce that off each other. Oh, what the fuck? I thought he was still thinking. I didn't realize he declared. Fuck's sakes. Alright. I wanted to swell and trample across the top of that fucking thing. I could have lost me the game. I had no idea that those blocks were declared. Oh my. Oh my. I didn't see the timer in the corner of my eye. That's alright. You know, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. I'd like to draw an Evolving Wilds now. Just get double Landfall trigger. So he's going to draw. No, he's not. I'm just going to kill it. That's fine. So he gets a Sunblade Elf. Oh, I'm on tilt now. Totally motherfucking tilted. Okay. Okay, he's got a pair of tutus. Give me Evolving Wilds, game. Looming Spires is good. Looming Spires is good. He can't activate his Sunblade Elf. So let's spread the love around. Who can't block this turn? This guy. We want you to block with your Sunblade. So we're swinging for lethal. He's gone. I mean, he can still block. And then sack. I mean, he's still in this. Fuck, he'd be dead if I trampled over the top with that Grove Rumbler, though. If I'd noticed. Anyway, I gotta stop obsessing over that shit. What's done is done. So yeah, block and sack. Gets a Stellan, which you can then play. And we take him down to 2. Alright, there's that Castellan. Is he gonna go dig in main phase for anything? I know he's gone. Is the AI gonna do that? He's only got 2 cards left in his hand. I mean, I got... Well... Let's see. Let's see. What do we get? It is a Swell of Growth. So let's just bring the pain. See if he's got a fog. There you go. Do you have it? No, we got through. Okay. Yeah, I'm pissed off about that. But like I said, stop talking about it. Stop thinking about it. Let's go, well, we started at rank 38, but we had to mulligan all the way down to death, so we're not going to call that a game. So we started actually playing at rank 37, and I said I'd play 3 games, so that's the goal now in this 3rd game, knock on wood. Let's get to 40, and end the episode on that note. How deep are we? 30 minutes. So yeah, we'll go. This is going to be a long one, but like I said, I haven't done this for a while. And with the tournament coming up, you know, you're not going to see much regular quote-unquote content for me. You're going to see the tournament coverage, which I'm excited about. See how that goes. It's a 5-round Swiss. Got to top 8. And then, of course, single elimination to determine a winner. Alright, we had a couple of games in a row, so it looks like we're going to have to go back to the old two-headed giant trick Konami code. See if it works. And just mute the mic for a second while that goes searching. I must have jinxed it earlier when I said my connection issues have been getting better. And my Konami code did not work. It's disappointing. Very disappointing. Let's try it one more time. And if I don't get a game here, well, I'm sorry. That's going to be the end of the episode. That's going to be a shitty way to go out. Definitely going to be a shitty way to go out. But what are you going to do? I don't want to keep this going on for too long. So, see if we can get the magical quest for 40. Come on, game. Pair me up. Pair me against a fellow rank 39. Hey, we got the game. Yeah, give me a fellow rank 39 and winner gets in to the 40 club. Nope. We got JSDJ, Crazy Legs, JSDG, something like that. 4-letter Crazy Legs. What do we have? 2 mana. Playing 26 though, so we should be fine. We're on the play. 3 2-drops, and we can glade into forest. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that, and that's always my justification for keeping a 2-land hand with this deck. And it never works. It never works. So I don't know whether we're going to play Gnarlid or Slide Runner first. Depends on whether or not our opponent's playing red, really. So if he's playing red, we're probably not going to stick out a 2-1 right away and let him get a ton of value. We're going to play our 2-2 first. Because Twin Bolt is pretty bad for this deck. Pretty bad. So is he even there? Hello? Play land, dude. Yeah, this guy's pretty good. This is one of the best 2-drops in the game right now. Attacks as a 3/3. Pretty much for the, for the key 2 or 3 turns after you play him. Nice artwork on the Slab Hammer. Not sure how that goblin is carrying it, but yeah. This is unfortunate. And the timer's not even moving? The turn timer's not even moving. Did he glitch the game on me? Am I going back down to 38 because of this guy? Did he hear me talking about him? Say fuck you bitch, I'm glitching the timer? Well, I mean, I got to go. You know, I can't sit here and let you guys watch that. That's just, Anyway, so the quest for 40 is over. Timer glitched. Whatever. See if we can find a game. If not, if I don't find a game successfully right now, then that's the end of the episode, unfortunately. I'll tell you what I'll do. For those of you who have stuck around this far, I'll go into my experimental 28 land control deck and take a walk around. Just for fun. If you've managed to make it this far. But come on, let's just get into the game. No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Alright, fuck it. Let's go have a look around Awaken. And actually, there's a few changes that I want to make to it based on the testing that I've done. So the whole point of the deck, playing 28 lands, is to attack and kill people with your lands, and basically never miss a land drop, or even playing 3 Pilgrim's Eyes in here. But the one card I've been not impressed with is Telling Time. So what I've wanted to put in its place are Disperse, 1 copy, and instant white, 2 mana, uncommon, 2 copies of Reprisal. Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to put in. And my OCD makes me clear the filters, it has to. So, yeah, 5 Planeswalkers in the deck, 28 lands, bunch of Awaken. Not really a whole lot of green and black spells, as you can see. It's mostly blue and white. So I'm playing Jace, Planeswalker. Flashes back your spells. Telling Time wasn't doing a whole lot of work in here because I have Brilliant Spectrum, which we'll see later. And that pretty much does it all. So I wanted to put in some more hard removal for big stuff. So that's why we're going to add in Reprisal. Disperse interacts with any permanent type that's not a land. So Awakened lands can still be a problem, but you know, still, I wanted to put it in there and try it out as a one-off. Displacement Wave is the 5th sweeper in the deck. Essentially, pseudo, buy you a turn. Make your opponent recast all of his or her stuff, since we're not going to have a whole lot of permanents on the battlefield until much later in the game. Pilgrim's Eye, 100% for mana fixing. Yes, we're playing 28 lands, but we have double color costs in all 4 colors. So he's a little 1/1 flyer, but he fixes up your mana. Nissa, Planeswalker, grabs your forest. But mostly Planeswalker. Only playing 2 counter spells, but we're playing the Awakened ones and the hard counter ones. So that's for later game stuff, and that's another reason why I wanted to put in 1 copy Disperse to go along with the Displacement Wave, is to bounce something up. And then counter it, and speaking about bouncing, we're playing all 3 copies of Royal Spout. You know, since the deck really has a pretty bad mana curve there, not much to do on turns 2 and 3, but it's a control deck, so you really kind of don't care. But if I have to cast a Royal Spout on the 3rd turn, I'm not terribly pissed off about it because I have 2 more that I can awaken later on in the game. So Suppression Bonds is here for Planeswalkers and Ulamog. So that's why, you know, that's why we're playing 2 copies of that. Brilliant Spectrum is just brilliant. It's really good. You go 4 deep, but you can ditch 2 from your hand. So I mean, you can overdraw on lands with this deck. Obviously playing 28, but you just ditch them to this and gas up. I mean, this card is great. I run all 4 of these, and I was throwing away Telling Times left, right, and center. You know, once you get to 4. You want a Brilliant Spectrum, and then you don't want any part of Telling Time. It's just, we're not even in the same ballpark. Telling Time doesn't even deserve to be blue as far as Spectrum is concerned. So I'm playing a couple copies of Languish, obviously, Sweeper. More Planeswalkers. Gideon, we all know how good he is. Kiora in here is actually, she's in here basically to build for her ultimate, and to help you cheat on mana a little bit. Because like I said about all those double color costs, you can see double blue Disciple, double white Outburst, double black Hob, double green Warden. Double blue Part of the Water Veil, double white. I mean, there's a whole bunch of double color costs. So if you only have 1 color of a specific type of mana, or 1 source of a specific color, you can tap it now that we have a mana pool, and you can make that color, and then you can untap it with Kiora, and then you can cast your double colored spell with only 1 source. But again, she builds towards her ultimate, which is game winning, and she does dig 4, you know, which is kind of like the 5th Brilliant Spectrum, if you really need a creature, and which, you know, Nissa is a creature, Jace is a creature, and Ulamog is a creature. Disciple of the Ring is a creature. Mary Shepherd, you know. So there are some creatures in here, plus lands. This deck has lots of them. Your arm's going to hit there. Disciple of the Ring. I'm playing enough spells. 23 non-creature spells, but there are Planeswalkers and and stuff in amongst her. So the number's actually lower, but she's still a game winner, and we're going to play her. So we've got Languish as sweepers number 1 and 2. We got Outburst as 3 and 4. Displacement Wave as pseudo sweeper number 5. But this card is great. You know, we all know how good this card is. On the Planeswalker theme, we're playing Ob. You know, hard removal for a creature mostly, and if that's all they've got, then you know, an protected Ob is just going to win you the game eventually with the extra cards he's drawn you. Don't have any life gain in the deck outside of the, where is it? Outside of the Shambling Vents, but we can awaken these vents. And then when we activate them, they're like 6/7s usually, because most Awaken in the deck is 4. There is some Awaken 3 and Awaken 6, but most of it is 4. That's usually the number. It's usually a 6/7 lifelinker when I activate it. Green Warden, just Graveyard Recursion. I mean, it's just a really, really good card. Part the Water Veil. This card in this deck has been insane. It actually has been insane. You can cast this, like with most Awaken spells, you probably, you know, this is a 9 mana Awaken, so you probably want to have 10 so you can attack that turn. But with Part the Water Veil, it doesn't matter since you're getting an extra turn, and this lets your Planeswalkers, you know, we'll say ultimate a turn sooner than they normally do, because you get to tick them up, and then you get to take another turn and tick them up again, so your opponent thinks, hey, I've got X number of turns, and then Part the Water Veil just kind of shuts that down. So, I mean, I don't hesitate to play this on 6 mana if I have to, if I just want to draw a card, but I really, really want to save this as a game-winning play, and it's been really, really good. Plus, Awaken 6 is huge. I mean, make a 6/6 land? That is huge. That is really, really big. And Emerian Shepherd, just because, you know, getting Planeswalkers back out of the graveyard, essentially, or even back into your hand. You know, I mean, we're not going to exile Green Warden since it's bugged, so we can get Green Warden back in our hand, you know. So it's really good, but it's mostly about getting the Planeswalkers back. If a Suppression Bonds, you know, falls off or gets discarded, you know, she can cheat a Suppression Bonds into play. Ulamog is Ulamog. We're playing 28 lands. We don't need to tutor him up, but we can definitely cast him. If we draw him, fires the mana base, I'm going all 3s on the basics because I do have double color costs all across the board. I'm playing 2 Lumbering Falls, 2 Shambling Vents, so we get to play all 4 of the mana lands in this deck. So think of it as a 24 land deck with, you know, 4 creatures that tap for mana early, and you got to pay the mana to attack with later. I don't know, something like that. And so we're playing, since I'm playing a lot of basics, and Pilgrim's Eye, which fetches basics, and Evolving Wilds, which fetches basics, we're going to play as many of the battle lands as we can, instead of playing the check lands, since it's usually not a problem to get 2 basics into play, and then just make everything enter on tap. So we're playing Sunken Hollows, Canopy Vistas, and Prairie Streams in these colors, and then left over is the Woodland Cemeteries as our only check lands in the deck. So yeah, it's you know, obviously I just made the change for Telling Time into Disperse and Reprisal, because I hate using Suppression Bonds on big creatures, because you don't really know if your opponent's going to have a Planeswalker, and that's really what Suppression Bonds is for, or Ulamog. I mean, if your opponent Ulamogs you, then you really want to just lock it down, and Bonds does that. I don't want to play Angelic Edict. You know, Bonds is a permanent, and it deals with playing. It's a permanent for Emerian Shepherd, which is good synergy, but it's also, it deals with Planeswalkers, and Angelic Edict doesn't. So that's why I'm doing that. So yeah, that's, did I just quit without saving? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. And that's, I lose a lot of games of Magic just pressing the wrong effing buttons and just, like, not paying attention, because I'm here rambling on. And that's just, you know, you just got to see me misplay in the deck editor. Now, mark that one down. So we had a blue, 2 mana, common, instant. Disperse, alright. And we had a white, instant, 2 mana, uncommon, 2 copies of Reprisal, and we take out the Telling Times. And my LCD says clear all filters, and then we save the changes, and why don't we try to find a game with it? Fuck it, let's try to find a game with it and see. This episode's going to be like an hour long, probably more. We're already at 44 minutes. We're already at 44, and if I actually successfully get a game with this control deck, we're probably going to go up to like 94 minutes. It's not for people who want to win very quickly. Let's just put it that way. Alright, so here's the connection thing. Searching means searching, I get that. It's when the searching is over and they find somebody that it says waiting. This is where you gotta worry. Yeah, it's waiting. Alright, so I'll take it out against the AI. Fuck it. I want to take it out for a spin and just show you what it's like to play out of a 28 land deck. It's kind of fun. So yeah, let's play solo battle. I do need the achievement anyway, so let's do hard. Even though the thing about a hard battle is since it's 15 gold, my OCD again makes me play 4 of them, just so that I can get back to a multiple of 20 again. So yeah. But anyways, let's take Awaken up for a spin against the AI, since seems like I jinxed my connection issues by saying how good they were. I won't say, you know, they're not great, but they're greatly improved over what they were when it first came out. Alright, AI, what do you got for me? Two-lander. Are we serious? On the draw with a pair of Pilgrim's Eyes. Is there any way I don't draw land? Well, yeah. But we're on the draw in a 28 land deck. So let's go. And we're looking at a Shambling Vent out of the gate. And there is a Woodland Cemetery, so we can Prairie Stream, Swamp, Cemetery, and have 3 mana untapped for our eyes. And we'll see what we draw between now and then and what we need to fetch. And we're looking at a Blighted Steppe. That's the one where you gain 2 life for each creature you control. Yep, Swamp. So we need double everything, and we need triple blue and triple white because of Awaken on Planar Outburst and Awaken on Part the Waterveil. So yeah, the mana requirements in this deck are pretty hefty. Oh my god, the AI played a Corpse Hauler. And it tends to play all of those special lands, like the tapped ones. I've been noticing that a lot. So anyways, Pilgrim's Eye. So we got double black, and that's it. We got white, green, blue. So, we want to play Kiora next turn. She can let us play Ob the turn after, and we got double black anyway. So I think we want to get double blue, I guess. I don't think we're under any pressure to top deck a Planar Outburst or lose. And we do have some double blues in hand, so let's go get an island. And you know, next turn we can play Kiora. Depends what our opponent does, but I think we will. So he's just gonna, like I said, he's playing Skyline Cascades, 2 of them. He's playing some kind of Esper deck with colorless mana. Alright, he doesn't want to sacrifice his dude. What is this, Voracious Null? Is that even in the game? What do we pick up? Brilliant Spectrum. 3 mana, 2/2. Alright, so, is this a Kiora turn? Do I want to plus her or do I want to minus her? I definitely want to plus her. So let's swing for 1 since we can. My hand is so full, I don't want to be casting the -2 or the Brilliant Spectrum yet, so let's just put this down. And let's Kiora. And let's untap a creature. And let's represent Fog to the AI. So there we go. Planeswalker number 1, deal with that. Another Blighted Steppe. So this guy's not playing any basic lands in his deck. So he's bringing the 2/2 at Kiora, which I will gladly protect. You've served your purpose, thank you very much. And he's thrown 2 at our face. Should take that. Guardian of Tazim. Alright, so we picked up our 5th land, but we could cast Ob anyway, so I think I'll kill the Guardian of Tazim. With Mr. Nixilis, will I do that? He'll be down to 2, but Kiora will be up to 6. I can't Displacement Wave for any more than 3, that leaves Guardian on board. So we get double black, we're going to cast Ob. We're going to cast Ob. So Ob's going to die. And Kiora's going to go down too, that's fine. We're not going to untap a creature. Yeah, let's, like I said, represent Fog, baby. So Tazim is gone. You know, like I said, this deck doesn't have any life gain, but putting down Planeswalkers actually kind of functions like that. Because they're attacking them instead of you. So he's going to kill Ob, but I mean, we can get that back with the Marion Shepherd later on in the game. And our Kyora's still on 4, which is where we cast her. And here's a Razorfoot Griffin. Yeehaw. I don't want to D-Wave for 4 because that picks up Kyora. Now it looks like it might be a Spectrum turn, or do we protect Kyora? Or do we go dig him with her? I really need to hit my next land, so I can play Pilgrim's Eye for... Oh, we got double white, double blue. We don't have double green, so I'll go get a forest, I guess. And then leave up double blue for Scatter to the Winds. So Scatter is online. And I mean, I could Spectrum if I wanted to. Good Spectrum if I wanted to. Can't kill the Kyora this turn. Fuck it, let's go. Let's go 4 deep. So what do we have? We got a couple more lands now. We picked up Gideon, apart to Water Veil. We can throw away Spectrum with Spectrum, which is why I like to run 4. So we got apart to Water Veil, Gideon, D-Wave, Scatter, Green Warden. We'll throw away this stuff. Alright, so, you know, when he finally deals with Kyora, we can D-Wave his board. But we'll see. He's only coming at her for 4 anyway. So I'm going to block and let him maybe sack that. There's the first strike damage. There's the other damage. Oh, he had another Corpse Hauler. He didn't mind losing that. Alright, so Kyora. So another good thing about Kyora is she can untap your man lands. So if I play the man land and untap it, I can put down a Gideon and make a token, and still keep up Scatter. Hopefully the white sources line up that way. Not going to untap a creature, but we will untap the Lumbering Falls. Now, Gideon, do I have double blue open right now if I tap this way? I do, because there's 4 mana highlighted down bottom, which means Lumbering Falls will stay open. Okay, so Awaken is still... Or, I'm sorry, Scatter to the Winds. And with Gideon... do I gotta make a token for the ground. He's going to be able to kill Kyora. That's fine. Bring the pain, dude. I mean, I imagine the Flyer's going at Kyora. Like, I can't see any... No, he's bringing everything at Gideon. Oh, no. Kill this guy since it has a sorcery speed ability. Let's keep our Kyora then. He's going to gain some life while he still has creature. Which we don't care about. I mean, we can Green Ward and get any of these Planeswalkers back. Alright, so how many mana in play now? 7. If I displace my way for 4, that's my entire turn. I guess I can just tick her up and part the Water Veil. I really don't want to do that. I guess I'll Green Warden and tick her up. That's what I'll do. Question is, what do we want to get back? I mean, I like Ob more than Gideon in here. So yeah, let's get Ob back. And what do we want? We want to keep plains in there for a Mary Shepherd, forests for Nissa. So let's get islands. Fuck it. Islands it is. Not that it matters. So there we go. So presuming no tricks, Kiora's just goes down to 1. But, you know, like, we're playing so many Planeswalkers, we're gaining a shit ton of life. Aligned Hedron Network, never mind. Kiora's gone. She's out, she's finished. No, he's just taking her down to 1. So I think I'll tick her up, then I'll Displacement Wave and get a Green Warden trigger. I think that's what I'll do. So, if I Displacement Wave... If I do that first, then she just gets picked up. So I get a D-Wave for... Is it 4 or 5? Displacement Wave for 4, so I need 6 mana. I guess I could add to my mana pool first, eh? So that's 8. I can make 9. I can make 10 mana this turn. Displacement Wave for 4 is 6. So I can't cast anything. So I'll just Displacement Wave for 4 after I take her up. So this one up. Let's do that. And then yeah, he has to pick up the network, and our Green Warden comes back in, and we get our Gideon back. Alright. And now we just get to get silly with Part the Waterville. So he's playing network just to kill them with Green Warden again, which is fine. Not kill it, obviously, just, you know, put it underneath. So, I guess we opt Kiora. I don't think, can I cast Gideon? I guess I can opt Gideon. I'll take off that. I gotta make sure double white is open over there. Yeah, let's opt Gideon. Actually, let's draw it out first. You never know. Playing our Outburst. I'm gonna keep this Evolving Wilds for later on. Yeah, let's Gideon. And I don't think we need to put him up to 5 toughness. Alright, so are we going to take another turn now? Oh, Razorfoot Griffin. This is trouble. Oh, Royal Spout. Jesus, yes. So that's 6 if I want to awaken it, and I can still cast Kiora if I do that. Let's cast her first, though. Yeah, let's cast her first. Oh, let's draw. We're not going to kill her. We're going to... It's a Spectrum. Let's make another Knight. Let's play the Evolving Wilds. This is fun. I like this about this deck. So let's awaken it. Let's awaken the Evolving Wilds. That's a really fun thing you can do with Evolving Wilds. Is make it into a creature. And we can untap a creature and a land. And since our land creatures are both, we can do it like that. So I think Part of the Watervale is just a game winner now. I mean, we've got so many Planeswalkers on the board all of a sudden. And yeah, the Razorfoot Griffin, I mean, that's just too hot to handle. Too cold to hold. So there's the vent, but it looks like we will... It has first strike, though. Let's Gideon Emblem. Let's do that. Let's Gideon Emblem. Let's destroy target creature. Let's just win this game. Let's swing for 11 while he's tapped out. Could have activated this guy. Totally missed it. And actually, I think I had enough. Probably had enough mana to win this turn. No, I didn't know. Awaken. 6. I'll also awaken Forest. And let's not tap that Forest. There we go. And event. And let's go digging for a Myria Shepherd. Why not? Or Ulamog. So we get a Pilgrim's Eye. Forest. Not that I'm actually caring and or choosing which one we're getting. So yeah, let's just kill him. Anyways, this is the Planeswalker Awaken deck. There's a reason I don't play any more than Scatter to the Winds in here is because this is a tap-out deck pretty much every single turn, even though you're playing 28 mana. You know, and you don't have life gain, but you got so many Planeswalkers, they have to attack them, and you can get them back out of the graveyard. So yeah, that's Awaken. Got some actually progress this turn. Anyways, guys, that's like an hour-long video. Yeah, just hit the hour and 1 minute video mark. Don't know if I've ever done that before. Did I just play against the AI again or something? Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. No, we're back to here. I got to play 3 more hard matches just to get back to a multiple 20. But hey, that's my problem. Thanks, guys, for watching, and hopefully we'll have some tournament games up before you know it.